Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to cut through all the noise, surrounding the U21 Euro playoff semi-finals. We want to get right to the heart of what really counts in these massive games. Two huge clashes coming up, really showcasing the next wave of talent under serious pressure, too.
Exactly. And our job, really, for you listening, is to kind of sift through all the previews, the predictions, all that stuff. We'll pull out the crucial bits, the surprising facts maybe, and the key forecasts. The idea is you walk away feeling genuinely well-informed, understanding the stories, the players, the tactics behind what look like, well, incredibly exciting matches.
All right, let's kick things off then. First semifinal, it's in Bratislava, England U21 taking on the Netherlands U21. Now, England, they're in a funny spot, aren't they? Pulled off that really strong 3-1 win against Spain in the quarters. That was quite a statement. But then you look at their group stage.
Oh, wow.
Less convincing, yeah. Only the one win there.
Yeah, it's that curious mix, isn't it? Momentum from the Spain game, but also this vulnerability underneath. I mean, they are the reigning champions, but their recent form, it's been inconsistent. Only, 3 wins in the last 8? And, if you look at their history at this specific stage, it makes you wonder, England have lost 4 of their last 6 U21 Euro semis. That's not just a stat, is it? It feels like maybe a pattern. Maybe they struggle with the pressure right at this point.
That's a pretty big pattern to break. And then there's the head-to-head with the Netherlands. 5 of the last 6 meetings ended level after 90 minutes. I still remember that crazy 2007 semifinal. Finished 1-1, went to that marathon penalty shootout. 14-13, England lost that one. Does that sort of thing, even from, 17 years ago, does it linger? Even subconsciously?
Oh, absolutely it can. Yeah. Especially in these knockout games, where it's all about fine margins. Even if the players weren't there, the story around the fixture, it built up. But talking about individual quality now, James McAtee, he's been brilliant for England. Mm-hmm. 6 goals, last 11 U21 games. He's definitely someone the Dutch defense will be worrying about.
Right. Okay, let's flip to the Dutch side. Often seen as the underdogs, and they really played that part against Portugal, didn't they? Stunning 1-0 win. And they did it playing with 10 men for, most of the game. England, maybe a mixed group stage, but they definitely showed they can, just find a way when it counts.
Their resilience is something else. And that defensive strength could be key here. They're close to getting 3 clean sheets in a row, first time since 2023, apparently. And they tend to keep these semifinals really tight. Lost their last 2 by just 1 goal inside the 90 minutes. Which brings up an interesting contrast. England have McAtee, right? The Dutch have Luciano Valente. He's been a real surprise package. Contributed to 4 goals, 3 goals, 1 assist in just 5 games. And he's never even played a full 90 minutes. Super efficient.
Wow, yeah, sounds like a proper impact sub. But here's something else maybe overlooked sometimes. Discipline. The Netherlands have seen red cards in 4 of their last 7 U21 matches. That's quite a trend, isn't it? More than a trend, maybe a vulnerability. How does that specifically cause problems against England's attack?
Oh, it's huge. An early red card, especially against a team with England's pace, their depth up front, it could just totally wreck their defensive shape. Forces immediate changes. Players get exhausted covering more ground. Leaves gaps. And England have the players to exploit those gaps. It sort of reveals maybe a recurring issue with staying composed under pressure, which, England will try and test.
Okay, so pulling all that together then, what's the feel for how this England-Netherlands game might actually go? What's the overall prediction looking like?
Well, the sources seem to point towards a really tight, tense game. Could easily be level again after 90 minutes. A goal either way feels likely, but maybe, despite that history we mentioned, maybe not heading straight for penalties this time.
Right, okay. Now this next bit seems counterintuitive. Maybe you can unpack this. The prediction leans towards under 2.5 goals in the game. Makes sense. Defensive mindset's tight history. But then both teams to score is seen as likely. How do those two things fit together? They seem a bit opposite.
Yeah, it's a good question. It really gets into the specifics of knockout football, doesn't it? While both teams are organized, probably cautious, especially the Dutch with those clean sheets, the individual talent is just so high. England have McAtee, the Dutch have Valente. The pressure cooker of a semifinal often forces, moments of brilliance or mistakes. So even if the game itself is cagey, not many chances, 1 moment for each side could see them both score. Doesn't mean the floodgates open, just quality finishing or a slip up under pressure.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense when you put it like that. And finally, goal before halftime, likely.
Yes, that's also leaning towards likely. Both their quarterfinals had first-half goals. The Dutch, even though they're defensive, they can start quite aggressively. And England scored early against Spain, too. So yeah, the feeling is we'll probably see an early strike.
So there we have it for what looks like a really tight contest between England and the Netherlands. Key takeaways then. Both teams to score yes, under 2.5 goals, and goal before halftime yes. Right, with that covered, let's shift gears. The other semifinal. Germany U21 versus France U21. This one feels like, well, a clash of heavyweights. Could be fireworks here.
Absolutely. Germany, they just came through that epic game against Italy, 3-2 after extra time. Just a wild match. 5 goals, 2 red cards. And that win pushed their unbeaten run to an incredible 19 matches, 16 wins, 3 draws. Just shows how consistent they are at youth level.
19 unbeaten. That's just unreal, isn't it? Especially with youth teams changing so much. They're looking for their 4th final in the last 5 U21 Euros. But does that kind of run, especially after such a tough extra time game, does it risk overconfidence or maybe just fatigue, physical rental that France could jump on?
It's definitely something to consider. Confidence is good, obviously.
Yeah.
But the physical drain of extra time, especially in such a high-intensity game, it's real. And that can lead to mental tiredness, mistakes. Plus, Germany have this historical issue against France. Only 2 wins in 14 previous U21 games against them. And 4 of the last 6 head-to-heads ended level after 90 minutes, too. So France just seems to know how to cause them problems. But for Germany, Merlin Roll, he's a guy who steps up. Germany have won every single game where he scored or assisted. 5 out of 5.
Right. And France, they seem to be playing with this real sense of destiny almost. That 3-2 comeback against Denmark in their quarterfinal showed amazing resilience, but also serious firepower. They're in great form too. 6 wins in their last 7, unbeaten in 9.
Yeah, what's really striking with France is just how potent they are going forward. 3 or more goals in each of their last 3 games in this tournament. But, and it's a big but, it raises questions about balance, doesn't it? Because they've also conceded in all 3 games. They haven't actually reached a U21 final since way back in 2002 and haven't won it since 1988. So this is a massive chance for them.
And like Germany, they've got the players to do it. Mathis Tell from Bayern Munich, he just keeps delivering. Scored the winner against Denmark, and he scored the last time they played Germany too. So factoring all this in, Germany's consistency, France's attacking flair, that head-to-head history, what's the overall prediction for how this one plays out?
Yeah, the final verdict here points towards an explosive game.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got 2 teams unbeaten recently, both packed with attacking talent, both seem prone to quite open matches. Just has all the makings of a game with plenty of goals.
And on goals specifically, over 2.5 goals is rated as a strong yes for this one.
Makes sense, right? Both teams have those dangerous forward lines. Recent games have been high scoring. Germany's games often go over. And France's last 3 all had 3 or more goals.
Exactly. And both teams to score is also a definite yes. France, like we said, scoring but also conceding in every game so far. Germany's attack is so fluid they're almost certain to exploit any gaps. But France, with their comeback ability and firepower, you'd expect them to reply. Almost guaranteed.
And just like the other semi, a goal before halftime is predicted here too. Both their quarterfinals had goals in the first half. With the attacking quality we're talking about, you'd expect a fast start, early chances, yet feels very likely the net will bulge before the break.
So yeah, to wrap up the key plays for Germany versus France, over 2.5 goals, both teams to score yes, and goal before halftime yes. So as we've sort of unpacked all these potential stories for these really intense U21 Euro semi-finals, thinking about the different styles, the shared dreams of these 4 teams, what does it really tell you, maybe, about the future of international football? Think about those patterns we've discussed: resilience, discipline, attacking flair. How might they shape the next big stars on the global stage? These aren't just games, are they? They feel more like auditions, really, on a huge stage. And the results that could echo for years to come in the senior game.